The masthead very quickly. Nigerians lambast WK for downplaying abduction epidemic, and that story is on page 16 of the Guardian. The minister of the FCT, Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has come under fire over his cavalier handling of the abduction epidemic rocking the nation's capital, which he blamed on political detractors. And angered by his statement, the Northern Elders Forum, Middle Belt Youth Forum, and other stakeholders chastised the former Rivers State governor, describing his utterance as insensitive and unfortunate. Yes.
Irresponsible. They should have irresponsible. Well, I'm just trying to be, it's irresponsible. What
we have here is, and I'm quoting now, some politicians are bent on making sure the government does not survive. And how do you do it? By creating unnecessary tension and carrying propaganda that something just happened here. They tell you it has happened 25 times. You must understand how our system works. There are those who are blackmailers who are paid. And Wike has this, that's end of quote. Wike dismissed the public outrage over the kidnappings as unnecessary, saying you cannot stop total crime. Let somebody tell me as a professional that there is anywhere in this world where there is no crime. Because kidnapping happened last night in one or two places, therefore there's insecurity in the whole FCT. That is not correct. He lamented that citizens do not compliment government efforts and are ready to fault areas that have not been resolved. He said, and I quote, "When we came here, people say everything in Abuja has collapsed. No street lights, no road. How many of you have even come out to commend us in these 5 months? All you do is pick one that has not been solved or that appears to be the problem. You forget the ones that the government has put effort which has yielded results." Well, insensitive and unfortunate. That's what, stakeholders are
I put you responsible there, Sandra. And look, Sandra, the minister of the FCT with this kind of mindset, can he get anything done?
I mean, if he believes that this is just detractors, that means he doesn't believe that there's a problem.
And people are raising unnecessary jobs.
That means he doesn't believe there's a problem. And if he doesn't believe there's a problem, there won't be any need for
and there's just propaganda. You don't understand. It's a minister of the FCT with this kind of mindset. Is this serious about fixing the problem? Or can he get anything done? So, as Mr. Wike visited the Kadaria family that lost their first daughter, as if he said their real family, they also lost their first daughter to these kidnappers. So, if Mr. Wike is not outraged that Nigerians, innocent families in their houses, were kidnapped, and in the process of raising ransom because the government could not secure them, lost their first daughters, it's not outrage. It's not new. He sees it as propaganda and the actions of detractors. Sandra, so when they're saying sensitive and unfortunate, then it's irresponsible. You don't understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As we speak, just imagine the Ariel family. They are reading this story. What comes to their mind? What will come to their mind as they are grieving? Just imagine the Kadaria family reading this story. And a lot of other Nigerians who have died in the hands of kidnappers. Just imagine what they'll be thinking reading this statement, hearing this statement from the minister of the FCT.
Well, there's a lot of reactions to the statement of the FCT minister. Of course, the Northern Elders Forum spokesperson of the NEF, Abdulaziz Suleiman, has described the comments as insensitive and dismissive of the experiences of the victims. We also have here the president of the Middle Belt Youth Forum, Bright Kane, described Wike's statement as sad, adding that the minister was shifting blame to absolve himself of the kidnap situation. He accused the ex-governor of being economical with the truth in a bid to hide his failure to protect the FCT, hinting that Wike was probably overwhelmed by the security crisis. He said, and I quote, "It is sad and unfortunate that the FCT minister refers to what is happening in the FCT and the nation at large as politicians creating unnecessary tension. He is being economical with the truth. What is happening in the FCT today in terms of insecurity has never happened in the history of this country. So the minister wants to shift the blame to his co-politicians to absolve himself." Finally, it seems he is overwhelmed by the challenges he finds himself in, which is piloting the affairs of the FCT and that of Rivers State.
You see, sir, this was the same position former Minister Fantani was taking when he was in government with Buhari, and people were complaining about the state of insecurity in the country. He said the same thing, unnecessary jobs, unnecessary tension, things are not as bad as people are saying. Until he now became one of the people that has to now join to raise money, with these to kidnappers. The same thing the minister is saying, downplaying and making something very, very sensitive as if it's nothing. And he says, you see, let me understand that. I just want to say that, look, I think when we do this job, what we are just doing is to get Nigerians thinking. Now, when I keep talking about the idea of motion without, you have Nigerian politicians, when there's a problem, they highlight the problem, they tell you about the problem, they bring up theoretical solutions to it, and then they begin to pretend as if they are doing something to solve the problem. Whereas in reality, they are not even committed to solving the problem. So it's just all motion without movement. And I'm saying that, look, all of the recent news of the FCT minister saying he's meeting with security operatives, blah, 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 of that, to solve the security problem in Abuja. But in his mind, thank God he has said it. In his mind, this is what he's thinking. That, his actions of political opponents, it's just mere distraction, it's unnecessary tension. It is unnecessary tension that families were kidnapped.
Thank you.
And they were killed in the process. It's unnecessary tension to the minister of FCT.
All right.
So that man deserves that position to start with.
All right. The story is on page.
To be in that position.
The story
is thinking the way it thinks.
All right. We don't have so much time. Just a minute left, and there are still three other stories. Yes, the story is on page 16 of the Punch newspaper, and very quickly I'll just run through the rest of the headlines because we have actually run out of time. We also have here Naira depreciation pushes drug imports to 900 billion Naira. That is on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, off the Punch newspaper, federal government to sell 5 power plants for $1 billion. That is also on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. And finally, we're looking through Vanguard now. The major headline on the front page of Vanguard newspaper: how federal government and others gained 1.05 trillion naira from naira depreciation, as exchange rate gains soar by 10,400% in 9 months. Some people basically are gaining from the naira depreciation. That's a very unfortunate one. But the story is on page 19 of Vanguard newspaper. We also have here $20 billion Dangote refinery. Marketers are proposing paying in naira, and that is on page 23 of Vanguard newspaper. We'll see how that turns out. And finally, Rivers Assembly kick as court shuns suit against Tinubu's Peace Pact. That's basically the fact that some elders in Rivers State went to court stating that if the intervention of the president in Rivers crisis was constitutional, and if it was something that could be implemented or not, well, it has been struck out.
I think we touch on that basic politics. Yes. As we speak, there are 3 judgments on this particular issue. Okay. 2 from Abuja contradicting themselves. From Abuja, and then this one from the federal and I got even in Rivers State. Yes. So, but again, because there's no time, we'll touch on all of that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fuhad. I appreciate. And that's it for Trends in the Papers for this morning. But stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for Mainland Focus by 8:40. Where you, our dear listener, you get to be a part of the conversation. So stay with us. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.